give me hell. Finally got it to work. Just watching some higher velocity. I wanted to talk about gear ratios and stuff for JP Speed Run Challenge. RPM, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. How you been, brother? I was watching your VRX buggy or whatever that was that you had been breaking in. Man, that thing was pretty cool. I was thinking about getting me one of those. It looks like a lot of fun, easy to break in. You know, good little basher car. So I wanted to talk about 8th scale buggies and gear ratios for doing speed runs, because I was doing a lot of calculations, and so anyway, I was doing all the calculations for how to calculate for a top speed, basically. And so I put in, hey, what's up, HPI Savage? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Thanks for showing up. So I put in the formula, right? So I wanted to know what my top speed would be with a 45,000 RPM motor, with a 16-tooth pinion, with a 40-tooth spur, and a 4-inch diameter tire, with a 3.5-inch internal ratio, meaning my differential and pinion, or ring and pinion. So on the Associated, I'm running a 42 and a 12. Typically, that's a 46 and a 13, if I'm not mistaken, for most buggies. But anyway, according to the calculations, the estimated top speed would be 61.4. And the only way I could get that with that 40-tooth pinion and the 16-tooth spur would be to run a Mod 1. So, yeah, exactly. So I put all these numbers into like AI and stuff, right? To calculate like my rollout formula and the rest of it and stuff. And so over here, this is your typical gear ratio formula. So 46 over 13, you've got a 46 tooth spur and a 13 tooth pinion in a 3.5 internal ratio, or maybe a 3.53 if you've got like a Kyosho buggy or most of the other buggies, because they're 46 over 13. So anyway, what you do to get your final drive ratio is you multiply those numbers, your differential ratio and your per and pinion gear ratio. So that's a 353. And this is what most buggies run, is a 13 and a 46. So your final drive ratio would be a 1239. And then what you would have to do to calculate your top speed, or to estimate your calculated top speed, is to calculate your wheel RPM. So with that, you need to know what your engine RPM is. So in my instance, I just rounded it to 40,000 RPMs for, like, say, an average Nova Rossi or like a Nova engine. They'll go up to like 45. But anyway, you divide that by your final drive ratio, and that gives you your wheel RPM. So then what you do is you calculate the distance of your circumference, the distance around the wheel, because after you've calculated your wheel RPM, you want to know how far it's going to travel for every time that it's rotated. So you basically just do pi times diameter. And in our instance, we've got a 4-inch diameter wheel times pi, which gives us our 12.57 inches in circumference. So then we multiply that times the wheel RPM, which gives us this really big number, 40,000, which is 40,000 inches per minute. And then we need to convert that to miles an hour. And so when we do the conversion, it's 63,360 anyway. It's a simple conversion. You come out to about 38 miles an hour versus if we were to have versus 47 miles an hour with a 16 tooth pinion or bell. So this is with a 13 and this is with a 16. So if we were to compete in JP's speed run challenge and all things were fair and we were all running the stock 46 and running a 16 tooth bell, we would be running in around 45, 47. Draco RC, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. I was just, good to have you, man. Thanks for showing up. I was just talking about some numbers and stuff, calculating rollout and estimating top speed for various case scenarios for your A-scale buggies. Like if you wanted to do, say, a top run speed challenge, which is what JP's got going on right now. So basically, you got to run a .21 engine. It's a 16 tooth bell, and the spur gear isn't limited. And so what most people are going to do is they're going to run their stock spur gear, which is a 46. And their center differential. So that's what. How's the Savage holding up? The Savage is back there, man. It's still hanging in there. I still haven't even started it since that last time we ran it. But yeah, I just need to adjust the gear mesh on it, and it should be good. I just haven't run it because I only have a gallon of fuel left. Nacho PM, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you showing up, man. I was just going over gear ratios and stuff. I don't know if you know, but JP's running a what do you call it? A scale speed run challenge for A-scale buggies. And so I was going to talk about like my various entries. I got a couple of them, and there's a Kyosho back there that I think I'm going to use. And the associated B5R is a brand new engine. I haven't even broke that one in, and that one's got a RCR modified Paloma in there that I just finished breaking in. It says Kyosho. I just got to change out the transmission. I ordered a new transmission for it with the 40 tooth center differential spur gear instead of the 46. So that'll allow me to get up to the estimated 61 miles an hour. So according to the calculations and AI and stuff, after I plugged in all the formula stuff, this is all theoretical, but the car could theoretically get up to 61.4 miles an hour with a 40 tooth spur 16 tooth pinion, 4-inch diameter tire at 45,000 RPM. And that's taking it for granted, you know. All the wind and coefficient of drag ratios and all the rest of it are in my favor and not working against me. However, in any event, what I'm planning on is running with a 42. yeah. So in any event, I'm planning on running with a 42. In order to get upwards of 60 miles an hour up to about 65, you'd have to run a 38. And I'm not sure that the Paloma or the B5R will be able to push that. So I'm just going to start with the 40 and see where that takes me. And I can use the G-More buggy because I already got the differential here. I just ordered the new gear and the pinion gear for it as well. I'm going to be running a 16 tooth Mod 1 pinion gear. So the Mod 1 pinion gear is from the Slayer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a Slayer, I believe is what it is. And anyway, so the Revo 3.3 uses like 3 point, what do you call it? Mod 1 gears. Yeah, so the important thing is to use the Mod 1 gears instead of the point .8 mod. So these are the point .8 mod, which you'll typically find in any 8 scale buggy. But over here, you see I've got the Mod 1 gear. And it doesn't look like it's much different, but it actually is. Let me see if I can pull this thing out. Yeah, let's check it out, man. Where's the So according to JP, like he was saying that he wanted to see, well, for the rules for the speed run challenge, he was saying that he wanted to see like a center differential, and so instead of like a spool, because you know how they make like the little spools for the center or whatever instead of the differential. Oh, is that right? I saying Genesis clutch bell will also work. Yeah. So, hey, what's up? Higher velocity. Yeah, dude. I was just talking about how to get upwards of 60 miles an hour with your 8 scale nitro buggy, dude, and we could do it no problem, dude. And I'm talking about it right now. What? Hey, that's up. Yeah, dude. I know, dude. And it's easy. Like, all you gotta do uh, is change to mod 1. So when you change to mod 1, you run like a 40 tooth over here, and then you run like a 16 tooth bill. I just ordered the slash one. Or no, it's a Slayer. Yeah. So the Slayer, uh, the new Slayer has what do you call it? A mod 1 clutch bell on it, and you can get it in a 16 tooth bell. So let me open up. Let me open up these Mod 1 gears and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I know higher velocity. I know how you love to go fast, dude. So if you want to enter the speedrun challenge, this is what you do. You get Mod 1 gears and you change out your center. You change that one out to like a 38 to a 40 Mod 1 gear, and then your clutch bell, you change that out to a 16 tooth Mod 1. So this is a Hobeo. I just ordered this one. This is a .8 mod. This is not gonna work. I just ordered the other one Just a few hours ago. Let me show you. Okay. The reason I got this this Obeo 16 tooth .8 mod is because I wanted to show you the difference between, say, a 16 tooth .8 mod and a 16 tooth mod 1, and show you the significant difference. Don't let me forget about squish band, because I just had to reset the squish band on my Nova B5R, because they gave me all new internals. Okay, so this is the new Obeo clutch. Whoops. This is a .8 mod. Hey, what's up, Arctic, dude? Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while, bro. I was worried about you, dude. I'm glad to see you, man. I was just talking about doing like some speed runs with the 8th scale nitro buggy and how you could get it upwards of 60 miles an hour. And the thing is, you can't run your typical gears that you typically do on your 8th scale buggies. So this is a Obeo Come on, man. So this is a Obeo 16 tooth bill that I just got. Man, the lighting in here is really good, but it looks really bad on camera. Okay. So, anyway. This over here is a mod 1 gear. And this is your typical, like, 8 scale gear. And this is the 8 scale gear. They look identical. They look like they'll work just fine. But I don't think it will. Oh, it skips. Man, I wish I had this set up better. I need to be able to see that these gears don't mesh properly. What is up with this light? Turn the light on my phone? This is so weird. I don't understand. Man. See, I'm trying to spin it, and it looks like it meshes up just fine. Look at that. So this might work. Oh God. It doesn't feel exact. It feels a little off. Man, I need to get this on there. Dude, what's up? Hybrid, my man. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Hey, happy to see you too, brother. Good to see you, man. Man, I was just talking about how, oh, gee, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Cheers. Man, I was just talking about, this gear and how, like your standard clutch bell or whatever is like a 32 pitch. And the Mod 1 is like a .98 or something like that. Unless I'm mistaken. Does anybody know for sure? Because I'm trying to line this up and see if this stuff, if these two gears will work. But in any event, I just ordered a Mod 1 clutch bell for the Slayer Pro. And it's a 16 tooth Mod 1. And I ordered a 40 tooth Mod 1 spur gear for the center differential, so I could put it in the buggy, whether it be this one or the Kyosho or the Associated or whatever. But in any event, what that's going to enable me to do is to run my estimated top speed of about 61 miles an hour. Grizzly, what's up, dude? Good to see you, dude. Glad you could make it, man. Good to see you, man. Been a while. Yeah, so I'm just going over some numbers, man, because I've been crunching all these numbers and stuff and putting all these numbers, calculating like final drive ratio and how to calculate for your top speed. So first you calculate your final drive ratio, which is your spur divided by your pinion, multiplied by your internal gear ratio, which is your differential divided by your pinion. So in most cases, that's like a 46/13. And then you calculate your wheel RPM, which is equal to your engine RPM divided by your final drive ratio. Yeah, Texas some engineering over here. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So in stock form, say you were running a 13 tooth pinion with a 46 spur, right? With the estimated engine RPM of like, to be conservative, 40,000 RPMs, you're only looking at 38 miles an hour. But if you upgraded it and got a 16 tooth bill, your estimated top speed would jump almost 10 miles an hour to 47. Now, let's just be real optimistic and say our engine's going to rev up to 45 grand instead of 40 grand. And we're going to run a 16 tooth bill. How fast is that going to get us? That's going to get us up to 53.3, up from the 47, if our engine revs at 45K, which is supposedly what the new Nova runs at, or whatever, right? So anyway, these are all hypothetical numbers. So the only way to get this number lower, this 46 tooth spur lower, is to run a Mod 1. So if you swap out the center here to a Mod 1 gear, which is from the electric, you can do that pretty easy. And then run like a Mod 1 gear over here from the Slayer. And you've got all your givens, right? Which is Best case scenario, 45,000 RPM engine, 16 tooth spur, 42 spur, 4-inch diameter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, center spur is the best solution. Yeah, exactly. 4-inch diameter tire. These are all givens. And then 3.5-inch internal ratio, because I'm running 4212 for my differential and pinion on the associated car. Uh, but most cars are 4613, which is 3.53 instead of 3.5. However, in any event, um, so what you do is you take all of these basic numbers, right? And you do your calculations and stuff, and they convert it into inches per minute into miles per feet, and you come up with your estimated top speed of 61.4 miles an hour. Yeah, exactly. You don't take into consideration the differential weight, the spider gears, and such. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, these are all hypotheticals. So you don't take into consideration any kind of drivetrain loss, any kind of, you know, any kind of stuff like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Uh, because these are all just hypothetical. Theoretically, what you could reach if you didn't have any kind of, drag from the drivetrain or whatever else it is, resistance from the air and the wind and the tires and so forth. So this is just best case scenario, what you could theoretically run. So in order to get your buggy up to 60 miles an hour, you would have to change to a Mod 1 and at least a 40 tooth spur and a 16 tooth pinion using 4-inch diameter tires. And so what I did was I went ahead and ordered a 40 tooth spur for the center differential here. Yeah. Hybrid says, yeah, awesome video release the other day, Pimp. Hope everyone saw it. Yeah, I got to see it too, man. He's been releasing some badass videos, man. He went and collected all those RCs, I guess, from that guy. What was his name? Jeff or something? I can't remember. I went and saw him a couple times, man. Dude, that was sick, man. I love that second haul he got. Yeah, not my best work. Oh, my dog was tired. Oh, is that who that was? Oh, funny. Yeah, man, that was awesome, dude. Yeah, at least you showed it the world. That's what matters. Yeah, exactly, dude. I know it, man. The poor little animals, boy, I tell you what, their little lives that go by so fast. So, what I thought was important was to try and establish some baselines, you know, uh, how to get your vehicle 8 scale nitro buggy upwards of 60 miles an hour and how to do that. And so you can go into AI and type in all of these givens or whatever, right? And you can change any single one of them and solve for it if you know how to do algebra. You just convert and so forth or whatever. But these are what you basically need to solve for your estimated top speed. You need your engine RPM, your pinion teeth and your spur tooth, your diameter of your wheel or your tire, and then your internal transmission ratio, which is your differential teeth divided by the, or your ring teeth divided by the pinion. So anyway, this is really interesting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the RPM is going to be a major player in the speed. Yeah, exactly. So exactly what you said. So what I did was I did just like you said. So for instance, in this best case scenario with a 45,000 RPM engine, so I've got the brand new Nova B5R waiting to be broken in, and that one supposedly gets up to 45K, right? So best case scenario with 45,000 RPM and a 46 tooth spur and 16 tooth bill, I'm looking at 53.3 miles per hour. But at 40,000 RPM, the miles an hour drops significantly to 47.4 from 53.3. So that's like 5 miles an hour with just 5,000 RPM. So it's a significant difference. Yeah, so the RPM plays a significant difference. Uh, but even more than that, I believe the only way to achieve that is to go to a mod 1, which would enable you to use a lower spur gear, because they don't make 42 spurs in like I guess like a 32 pitch or whatever the what do you call it is, like your typical 8 scale. And I wonder if you could just use that and make the best of it, you know, because when I was putting it in the calculations, if I'm not mistaken, a 32 pitch was just like a .98 mod instead of a instead of a mod 1. And don't forget about the tire growth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know it, man. That's funny you said that. So, with most off-road tires like this, you're going to have significant tire growth and stuff like this. So, I'm going to be using these XO1 tires, and these, aren't subjected to that much growth. Uh, but these are the these are the Duratrax Banditos. These things balloon like crazy, and they even came off the rim. I still have to re-glue them. So I don't think I'm going to be running those. I'll probably be running the XO1 tires, but they're the same outside diameter. Oh, you got to get out of here. Oh, good to see you, HPI man. We'll see you on the next one, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us, bro. Be careful out there. Yeah. So this is very interesting because this is a 32 pitch gear and this is a mod 1. And I wish the lighting was better. I don't understand what's wrong with my lights. I've got two awesome lights. Look. But of course, I've got the vast majority of them turned off because they're just so hot. However, in any event, it should be creating a lot more light than what I'm showing on the screen. It looks so dark. Let me see if I can turn some more. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work either. Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on, man. They don't get it. This is not good. Oh, dude. I need more light. None of them want to work. Oh, dude. So what I did was I just basically unscrewed them so that they would turn off. Come on, man. And now I'm trying to turn them and get them to come back on, but they don't want to come back on. That's my luck. Oh, well. Dang. I can't see fish. The light is so bad. What is up with that? And the light even looks dingy over here. Man, I can't believe that. It looks okay, Texas. Thank you, brother. Yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out is if I can just run this 16 tooth bell from like the OFNA on a 32, on a mod 1, because I thought I couldn't. Why is it so bad? But it looks like the gear mesh will fit. This is so weird. Yeah, let me try and rotate it around like that. Grizzly says he got 45 miles an hour with 28,000 RPM. Damn. So this gear mesh actually feels like it'll work. It's really weird. Because I was under the understanding that a what do you call it? A 32 pitch would not fit like a Mod 1. But you know what? Maybe I'm just under the misunderstanding. Maybe this is a 32 pitch X-ray gear. And I just took it for granted it was a Mod 1. Because I was under the understanding that a Mod 1 and a 32 pitch were a little bit different. So a 32 pitch was 0.98 mod. And the Mod 1, you know, was just a little bit bigger. It's really hard to tell with this contrast like this. It looks like they'll fit just fine. Yeah, that's a real good result for a T-Rex. Yeah, so anyway, I'm super stoked about getting this new differential gear because it's a OS 018A. Yeah, so I'm going to get this new differential gear. It'll be a 40-tooth Mod 1. I've got a new 16-tooth Mod 1 Slayer Pro. Hey, and that was something I was going to ask you, Hybrid. If you knew that if the gears on the Slayer Pro were a Mod 1 versus like, 32 pitch for most, and that you can't use those gears for other ones or whatever. Oh, okay, yeah. Hybrid says, yeah, Slayer should be a Mod 1. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm going to be running the Mod 1. So typically, these are what they call 32 pitch, for most of your 8-scale buggies and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, they're not Mod 1. These are 32 pitch. So they're a little different. It's a .98 mod, unless I'm mistaken. Could be, but anyway. So these teeth here and these teeth here should be different. Unless that's not a Mod 1. I mean, it looks the same. This might be a 32 pitch instead of Mod 1. Huh. Big Boy Toys, what's up, my boy? Good to see you, man. I was just trying to figure some stuff out. Oh, dude, you wouldn't believe it, man. Check this thing out, dude. I got a brand new Nova Rossi plug, dude. Look at this, Hybrid. Dude, I was going to open this on the live stream, but I couldn't take it anymore. It's a brand new Nova Rossi plug, the C8T. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, as a matter of fact. So let's move on. I want to talk about Squish Band. Yeah, real nice, dude. Yeah, exactly, dude. This is like the coldest plug that they make, right? So you can have the smallest squish band. Okay, so I just rebuilt the internals on this thing here, right? I got all brand new internals on this bad boy. It was like a piston, sleeve, the head button, connecting rod, all of it. And they gave me a bunch of new shims. And what I also noticed was that the head button was different because it had like instead of it just being perfectly flat, there was a little like boss where it had a built-in like head shim basically built into it, so you just put your head shims up to it, and it would add to the stack. And so when I put in that new uh, head button, what that did was it changed my squish band. So I didn't know how far the piston was coming up and how close it was getting to the bottom of the head button and that squish, right? Which is like where your glow plug is at the center and stuff, right? So that distance needs to be 26 thousandths, anywhere from 20 to 26 thousandths. Here it is over here. So you can see this is a feeler gauge, right? And so I put mine at 26 because I'm going to be running 30% Bones Brew. So I need as much of a squish band or as much combustion chamber space as possible so I don't have detonation. And so anyway, initially I had 5 head shims and I had to pull a couple out because the way you measure that is if you look here, if you look really close, you see how the end of the solder there has like a flat spot on it. Let me see if I can go over here. Look at that. You see that? You see how the end of the solder has a flat spot on it? Get it to focus. Come on. Okay. So this is a piece of solder, right? And what I did was I stuck it down in there. You see that? How it's got a flat spot? Well, on the top, it's also got another flat spot. You see that? So this is what's extremely important. So what you do is you take this and you just bend over a little bitty piece of it like that, right? And you take it and you stick it down in the hole where the glow plug goes. You take out the glow plug, right? And you stick that thing down in there, and then you leave it in there, and you kind of squish it over like to the side like that, and it goes in between, like, so it goes inside the glow plug hole and it goes to the side like that, so it goes like this, and then you rotate over the piston and it squeezes that solder. And when you pull it out, you take your caliper and you measure that squish thickness. And that squish thickness needs to be anywhere from 0.20 thousandths, which is right here, to 0.26. So you can see that's the squish thickness of a 26 thousandths right there. And this is 20 thousandths. And that's what you call your squish band. So I got mine set about 26 to 28 right now, just to start with. And then I can decrease it from there. But just to break in, that's what I'm going to be running. Oh, Big Boy Toys, I didn't see that about your mom. Sorry to hear that, Bubba. Your mom is dying and palliative care. Oh, that sucks, brother. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Super shout out to you. Big Boy Toys, man. Cheers, Bubba. Yeah, my mom's gonna be there real soon, too. Moms are great, though, aren't they, boy? I tell you what, man. They're the only ones who love us like nobody else. Yeah, they're awesome. They teach us how to love, you know. It's really a good thing. And, you know, we wouldn't be who we are if it wasn't for them. So, cheers to all the mothers out there. So, initially this was going to be my speed run challenge car for JP's speed run challenge thing. This has got the Nova B5R. The problem is It's only got a 13 tooth bell. It's a Hobeo 13 tooth. With the 46, what do you call it? Spur. And the problem is I can't get these screws out for the engine because the previous owner used to. Oh yeah, one of those things, but the heavy duty one. Not the half inch, but like a small quarter inch, something like that. But anyway, I can't get it out. Oh God, it's been a nightmare, dude. It's been horrible. So I'm kind of stuck with that 13 tooth bill, and I don't know what I'm gonna do to get out those screws. And so if any of you guys got any suggestions, let me know, man, because I'm in bad shape. Because I'd really like to turn this into my speed run challenge buggy, but I can't get the screws out. So anyway, if that's the case, then I guess I'm gonna have to use another one. Maybe this one over here. Boosted RC, what's up, Bubba? Good to see you, dude. Cheers. I was just talking about the speed run challenge. JP's speed run challenge. Uh, he's he's got a speed run challenge with A scale buggies, right? And it's a .21. You can only go up to a 16 tooth bell, but the spur gear doesn't have any limitations. So stock, it only comes, most buggies, they only come with a 46, and there's not an option to get anything lower. So if you want to go lower, you've got to go to a mod 1. So I ordered a 40 tooth mod 1. Yeah, dude, exactly, yeah. So I ordered a 40 tooth mod 1 and a 16 tooth mod 1 bell. So if I can get the screws out of that bad boy, I'll be using that one. If not, I'm gonna have to use this one or that one over there. So I'm gonna have to find one. Yeah, it's gonna rip. So according to my calculations, in the AI and went and did all my physics calculations and stuff. Estimated top speed would be 61.4 miles an hour at 45,000 RPM with the 16 tooth pinion and 42 spur, given that I've got a 4-inch outer diameter tire and a 3.5-inch internal ratio for my differential and pinion, spur or whatever. Now, in order to go faster than that, you would have to drop your spur to at least like a 38, which is like I think the lowest that they make. Or no, they do go down to a 30, but you'll never get that to spin with a nitro engine. That's why I only went with the 40, because I've run a 40 tooth before with a 20 tooth spur, and I was upwards of 60 miles an hour. But that was with a 2-speed transmission. The chassis, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so with the Kyosho transmission, if you'll notice this one here, this is the high-speed gear set. You can't get this anymore. This is so like prized. They sell these like for I don't even know how much, maybe $50 or whatever, just for these gears. But anyway, look, this is a 40 tooth and 46 for the Kyosho and for the 2-speed. And when you would pair up that 40 tooth spur gear with the 20 tooth pinion gear, so you're running a 40, so you're running a 2-to-1. Man, that bad boy, when it would hit that second speed. So this is the 14 and 20. So I was running a 14 and 20 clutch bell with the 40-46. And this ratio allowed the Kyosho to do upwards of 60 miles an hour without any issues, and And you can see the size of this pinion right here. This outside one, that's a 20 tooth pinion. And the inside one's a 14. So that's a 14 and a 20. And this is a 46 and 40. So when you're running the 20 and the 40, oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, so if you're running the 20 pinion and the 40 spur, that ratio is like a 2-to-1 with the 20 and a 40 will enable, with a 3.5 internal ratio, will enable the 8 scale, you know, on road car Kyosho to do upwards of 60 miles an hour. So given that, if yeah, Texas, you got some real fast cars. Thank you, brother. So given that we know that the 20 and the 40 works well, if we only have one gear ratio to choose from, we would want to run something close to this, the 20 and the 40. But we can't start off with the 20 because on JP Speedrun Challenge we can only go to 16. So that's why we're running a 16 and a 40. Yeah, thank you, Boosted. I appreciate that. It's the facts, man. Yeah. So this is how I'm planning to get upwards of 60 miles an hour with a single speed in a scale buggy. And I just ordered the parts. They'll be here in a couple days. And so you guys will be able to take the ride with me. And we're going to see if whether or not I can get one of these 8 scale buggies upwards of 60 miles an hour with a single speed. I think that's going to be really interesting. High RPM, VP of the NITROGANG. Uh, yeah, well, you're going to have to join in the speedrun challenge, big boy. Because JP's holding the speedrun challenge right now. And it's an 8 scale speedrun challenge. And it's real simple. All you got to do is I'm telling you the secret formula right now. Yeah. Anybody who wants to enter, I think you got to the end of July. Yeah, Nitro Pit. Yeah, to cut down the tires. Yeah, which is why, you know, I'm running the XO1. If it was my preference, I'd be running foams because they're a lot lighter. No center diffs on them, right? No, see, that's the thing. So you have to run the center diff. You can't run a spool. Aha! Because I was going to run the spool, believe me, but that's not allowed. So you have to run a center diff. So if that's the case, you just swap out your ring gear with a 40 and no, bro, you need diameter, says Nitro Pimp. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the larger the diameter. So we're running with a 4-inch diameter outside wheel, which is a basic given. So our off-road buggy wheels and tires are 4 inches, which is what the Bandito is, which is the same as the XO1, but we're only allowed to run 4 inches. Do they have to be buggy tires? No. They don't have to be buggy tires, but they have to be standard buggy size tires. So standard buggy size tire is 4 inches, and the Bandito tire just happens to be the exact same size, and so does the XO1. So I'm gonna be running the XO1s probably. Big Boy Toy says he's got an ex-World Championship racer engine with a Novarossi Top 21 factory Mod 2 engine. Rubber, no foam? So that's the thing. You can run a foam because the foams buggy tires are the outside wheel diameter is 4 inches. And so you can run a foam. And I was thinking about running foams because foams are a lot lighter and you could ultimately reach a lot higher. So yeah. So Carlo, if you've got an 8 scale buggy and you want to enter the challenge, you should enter because you got some really nice engines, man, and you could put them in a nice platform and just do some speed runs and yeah. Get some Jayco foes. Yeah. Oh, Nitro Pimp says he's got a rig stash somewhere with a 2100 kV motor. Can bolt on any 17 millimeter hex to measure the growth. Yeah, exactly, man. So that's where like these belted tires come in play. They're a little bit heavier, uh, but taking it for granted that you're going to be doing long speed runs, the inertia doesn't really come into play too much because you're just going in a straight line. KP, off the baby. Yeah, maybe. I was thinking about using the Kyosho back there. I've got a Kyosho GT1, and it's got a brand new Paloma RCR modified engine in there. And this one, I just finished breaking this one in. Texas case in point, my XRT went 71 on stock tires. No changes, but belted tires at 162. Damn! Yeah, exactly. The weight plays a big role, man. Yeah, so I'll just have to experiment and see what tires, are going to work well or whatever. But this platform, all I have to do is change out the transmission. It's got a 2 speed in there right now, but I can pull that transmission. That's basically a 7.5 Kyosho MP 7.5 with the 2 speed on it. Yeah, balloonage. And so anyway, I could use that as my bug platform as well. And the engine's just broken in. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to break in this one. Yeah. Now that's Yeah, thank you, Baba. Yeah, it's got the GT style header with the Nova pipe on there. It's 2152 dual chamber off-road pipe. It's basically the same as like a circuit on-road pipe. Hey, what's up? All the IC Nitros, what's up? Dodger Boy, good to see you, man. Let me get you guys set up. Man, I drank too much beer, man. I got to go water the lawn. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, so that being said, does anybody want to participate in the, what do you call it? Nitro Pin. Yeah, do they have to stay together? Yeah, no, the tires I guess don't have to stay together, man. As long as you can like videotape the whole thing in one take where it shows your speed, you record your speed live. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have like a GPS on there and do it all in one take. You know what I'm saying? And so like in my case, I'm gonna run like you know how I always do. I always just put the wherever my GoPro. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So what I do is I take like my GoPro, right, and then like I mount it on the car, and so what I did was I created a mount on this car, but it just depends on what I'm going to use. So it's looking like I'm going to use this car right now. Um, and if I use this car, then I've got, this mount back here, which is, like a high mount right there that I've used like in the past. But, I'm kind of wondering if it's going to create like a lot of drag, seeing that it's all like, high up there and stuff. So the mount, it just basically sits right there. But I was thinking this would be a really cool car to do a speed run challenge on. But I really need to like change out those big old fatty shocks, boy. Look at that, man. Those things are like as big around as my finger. Let me show you. Yeah, it's gonna be a ton of drag. I know exactly, bro. Exactly, yeah. So I was like, dude, that's gonna suck if I put this big old camera. And not to mention, this thing is heavy, dude. It's not light. This is like running two. If you had two of those like battery packs that have like the four double A's in them or whatever, like this thing here, like if you had two of these, that's the equivalent to what the GoPro weighs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not light. And then to set it way up here, it makes the car like real top heavy where it wants to like, topple over and stuff. So it's real hard to, drive with that thing on there. I might have to put it down lower in the chassis somewhere, figure something out, man, because even just adding that thing is a lot of weight and a lot of inertia and stuff. And that's funny you said that because even just the wheels add a lot of inertia. So when I have to like brake and like turn and stuff, man, I have to give myself a lot more room for the XO1 wheels because they're so much heavier and it carries so much more inertia and it doesn't want to like respond as quickly. And these, oh my God, these don't stand a chance for on road. They just tear apart immediately. just like Nitro Pit was saying, they came unglued almost immediately, and it didn't matter if it was a brand new set or not, man. Once I stuck them out there and put them on the road, and I gave it the beans, dude, they came apart real fast. So, I don't think I'm gonna be using those. I was gonna go and get some Gorilla Glue and try and glue them all back, and I don't. I'm just gonna go with that. Either that, or I'm gonna have to buy like a new set of tires. The what do you call it? Some foam tires or something. But I don't want to have to do that. And I'm all that beer. Nitro Pimp, do you have or do you have any onboard cameras? No. See, so that's the only thing. The GoPro here is the only onboard camera that I have. I really need one of those like Insta 360 goes or whatever it is, or a smaller GoPro, like this real small one that doesn't add a lot of weight, because this thing is a little brick. It's like a little lead weight. Piece of kryptonite for your RC car. There's a nitro kryptonite right here, boy. It doesn't look like it, but this thing is a little brick. And so anyway, I used to just strap it right there, you know, and it made the car like ooh, ooh, ooh. It was almost like a sailboat, dude. And every time you go into a turn, the car was like, oh no, like, oh god, it was hilarious. But yeah, I was thinking if I wanted to do the speed run, I need to get rid of these big old bad boy shocks. These are the associated RC8.2 E shocks, I believe they are. This is the RC8.2 Nitro, but the E version had different. Where is it? Oh, I got it in the box over there. Anyway, I have the E version of this associated car, the RC8, and these are the shocks off of it. And I took them off to put them on here because they were so big and beefy, and I thought that'd be great. But for a speed run challenge, and I mean, they're real nice and soft and everything. They're the best shocks I have, but For a speed run challenge, I really want to put something small and lightweight. You know what I'm saying? The smaller, the better, and the lighter. Yeah, foams don't grow. Yeah, Hybrid says, yeah, the pimp. Yeah. Also, that there's less wear and tear on a rough ride. Yeah, it's a give and take. Yeah, exactly. Foams also last less. Yeah, and the rear. Yeah, and it's got a rough ride. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, the foams are expensive as hell. I mean, I really like the rubber tires, but these balloon so bad. These don't balloon, but they're just so heavy, dude. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. I was thinking, yeah, I was gonna run with these because those are a lot lighter. But anyway, maybe I'll have to get the foams. Anyway, that's what I'm starting with, man. I think that running with a 16 tooth Mod 1 Slayer bell. And that's the other thing. It's like the clutch that I'm running isn't like my typical like 3 shoe or like a 4 shoe clutch. I'm running like just a typical like 2 shoe Traxxas style clutch. And so, the Traxxas style clutch bell will work just great on it. And, I'm not trying to get like maximum acceleration out of it anyway. So if I'm just running a 2 shoe clutch with, aluminum shoes on there, I'm just going for a speed run challenge anyway. So I'm not really too concerned about having 3 or 4 shoes on there to try and have maximum, bite and acceleration and stuff. So what else did I want to cover? Oh, the rollout. Yeah. So the gear ratio, your squish band, and your rollout. So do you know how to calculate the rollout for the tire? The rollout's really easy. You just calculate your wheel circumference, and that's real simple. It's just your pi times your diameter. So in my case, I'm running a 4-inch diameter wheel, and you multiply that times pi, and that gives you how many inches in circumference your wheel is. So that's what they call your rollout. So your rollout is the distance around the outside of your tire. And the reason that's important is because the bigger your tire is, the less revolutions it takes to go faster, basically. And so if you have a bigger tire, you can theoretically go faster if you've got enough horsepower to push it. But essentially, that's what's important. And the deal is like with uh, most of your on-road tires like this. These are the on-road tires. This is the G-Mar. Let's see. Yeah, like this. This is like a G-Mar on-road tire, and the on-road tires are different. If you'll notice, they're significantly smaller than a buggy tire. You see that? They're like 3.5 inches. And this is 4 inches up here. But there's no internal foam. There's no like sidewall and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So with the on-road tire, the performance is significantly enhanced when the vehicle doesn't have any kind of sidewall flex and stuff like that. When you're driving on the street, it makes a big difference. But the problem is it changes the gear ratio significantly. Where'd it go? It just fell on the ground. I can't see it. Anyway, so the whole point of the matter is that it changes the gear ratio. Oh, that sucks. Oh well. Here we go. So let me show you. Yeah, they're probably built at Texas. No, these are just straight up solid rubber. There's not even belts in there. I don't even think. It's just straight up solid rubber. It could be belted, I don't know. But they've got like little wear indicators on here somewhere. They're just like a little, oh, look right there. You see that little thing? A little hole? And so I've worn these things like basically down to the nub or to the rim or whatever, and I haven't seen any belts in there. It's just like a real strong rubber. And they come in different compounds. I've got all the different ones, like the hard, the medium, the soft, or whatever. But this one here feels like a medium. And you can push on it, and it feels like kind of soft. So this might be my soft compound. In any event, these tires are ultra lightweight and small. And so the issue is because they're so small, it changes the gear ratio significantly. So apparently, Kyosho did not take that into account when they created their GT2 gear ratios. So on the GT1, they were running this 40-46, and this gear ratio worked great with the smaller diameter wheel. But the problem was that when the GT2 came around, they stopped using this gear ratio and they started going with a 43-46. Yeah, it changes the rollout significantly, hardcore. Only RC Nitro says, yeah, last day of the month. Yeah, you go watch out for the coppers, man. They got to make their ticket quota. Yeah. So the smaller diameter changes the rollout significantly, so your engine spins a lot more. So typically, your engine would spin. Let me show you the rollout calculation. There it is. Okay. So typically, your engine would spin 1.43 times for every revolution that the tire would rotate. And this is base case scenario with a 40-46. This with a mod 1. But with a 46-16 or 46-13, this number is going to drop significantly. It's going to be like a 1.01. So because of this uh, significant advantage, numerical advantage of 43 thousandths of an inch or hundredths of an inch, that's a significant mechanical advantage by running a 40 tooth instead of the 46. And so that's where the rollout comes in to play. Uh, because if you change your rollout, then it doesn't matter if you've got a significant, mechanical advantage or whatever. Uh, but in any event, the 40 and the 20 bell came into play with this smaller tire. So with the larger tire, the 16 bell should work out identical to the 20 bell in this case. So with the Kyosho on-road, I was running the 20 and the 40 because of the smaller wheel diameter or rollout. But because of the larger wheel, I can run a 16 and a 40. So that's what I'm going to change to this, and then that'll be my new speedrun car, and I should be able to get over 60. So if you guys want to enter the challenge, JP Speedrun Challenge, that's the secret. That's what you got to do, man. Go get a mod 1 and a 40 or a 38 and a 16 is what I'm running. I don't know what everybody else is running, but experiment with the ratios. Maybe you'll find something better. But that's what I'm gonna run, and that's what I'm gonna experiment with, just because I'm used to changing or running with a 20 and a 40. But anyway, I've done the math on it, man, and I'm just excited to get going, man. I was gonna break in the Nova, but I just ordered the transmission uh, and the pinion and stuff, and hopefully it'll fit this one. I don't know that the Kyosho gear will actually fit this one because this is like a generic buggy. This is like a generic Red Cat or something. Um, but anyway, if it doesn't, then I'll have to use it in the Kyosho and put it in the Kyosho center def. Yeah, cool notes on how to keep track of stuff. Changes and all that. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Dr. Boy. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I don't want to keep you any longer than need be. I just wanted to go over that and let you know where I was at with this. I was going to try and start this bad boy up. Ah, funny. Only RC Nitro says he'll never buy a red kit. You know, I've heard recently that they've gotten a lot better. I've owned several of them, and yeah, the quality was fairly poor. The name alone sounds cheap. Ironically, Red Cat, they made an 8 scale nitro. It was called a backdraft back in like 2001, and it came with like a 2 speed. It was an 8 scale .21 nitro buggy off road with the 2 speed, and it had like a 38 tooth spur gear for the second gear. And so I was really anticipating that thing like, flying or whatever. But anyway, on the videos where the guy was driving it, a guy by the name of Ali Shamnow, I don't know if you guys remember that guy. Did you guys ever watch that guy? He was a little bitty dude. His name was Ali Shamnow. And he used to do all the Red Cat videos back in the day, man. He was one of the reasons I started doing this stuff, dude, because I was so excited watching him, man. And he was so excited doing all the RC stuff, and I was like, oh, like I want to do that, like I'm so excited about the RC stuff too. And you could just tell, like he was just so passionate about it. And so anyway, I was just like, yeah, I want to do that. And so anyway, like I bought my first Red Cat. It was the Rampage, and man, that car was a lot of fun, man. And I had that car for a while, and I eventually sold it to Lotus. And anyway, Lotus has it now. But anyway, Ollie Sham now, he's still around, man. He's still got a channel, and I still enjoy watching his videos and stuff. But yeah, he was one of the reasons I started doing it. But yeah, hybrid's another reason as well, for sure. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go, man. I'm going to run to the store and get a couple more brews, all out, and then wait for my new parts to come in. I gotta get some new parts coming in for the. Got the new transmission coming in for that, or I don't know, whatever they'll fit on. It's a Kyosho gear, so I'm gonna have to fit it on a Kyosho center diff, and hopefully this center diff fits because I already sold my other center diff. Oh, higher velocity says, yeah, you just finished too. All right, brother. Yeah, man, it was good to have you guys. So, yeah, I'll give you an update whenever I get the new gears in, and we'll pick up from there. So hopefully, the new gear fits my differential, my center 46,